So good day, I am Trixcylle. I'm from BSL Social Studies 2C Night. So today I'm going to present and tackle about the population, economy and resources, political geography, and cultural life in the continent. In Europe, I choose the country in Spain. Then in Africa is I choose the country of Morocco. In the continent of the North America is I choose the Canada. Then in the south is I choose the Argentina country. Then in the continent of Oceania or Australia is I choose the New Zealand country. And in Asia I choose the country of China. So before that, my objectives for this discussion is that students will be able to learn and distinguish or identify the population, economy and resources, political geography, cultural life of the country's continent in Europe, Africa, North and South America, Australia or Oceania, and Asia. So, let's start. So, in Europe, I choose the country of Spain. So, let's start with the population of Spain. So the current population of Spain as of 2021 is 46,774,302. So Spain is the largest country in the Western Europe. So the Europe Union and the fourth largest country by area on the European continent. And so as we see of the population of Spain is they are overpopulated. So they are most densely populated major European. So ang Spain. So daghan kay sila dito overpopulated agad sila because millions na ilaha population dito. So then the economy and resources of Spain. So ang Spain, their gross domestic product per capita is 26,528,000.49 USD. So their growth rate of gross domestic product is 3.2%, their annual change. So kani Spain has a capitalist mixed economy, then ranks at 14th place in the world's largest economy. So ika-14 sila sa pinaka-largest economies because so Spain sad is dato sad ang Spain. So developing countries gid sila. Then the country has Europe's longest high-speed rail network and is only surpassed globally by China. So more tupong-tupong ra ni sila sa China og kadato ang Spain og ang China. So we know that China is kanang dato sad gihapon, while ang Spain sad is dato sad siya. Then Spain is the home to fifth busiest part in Europe. So mga kuan ang mga tao dito is workaholic gid ang mga tao diri sa sa Spain. Kay mostly dito sa mga tao dito is naagi mga trabaho because they have a large economies that offers a lot of opportunity to all Spaniards people in Spain. So kanang kuan gid sila dito ay workaholic. Then let's proceed. So the major industries that drive the economy of Spain are the tourism, manufacturing, agriculture, and energy industry. So as I said earlier, so ang mga tao dito is dahan kay opportunity in work because they have a lot of industries that offers a good opportunity to all people, that especially the Spaniards because of Spanish people, because of kanang daghan silang mga industries nga nag-offer og trabaho para nila. Then their natural resources are the coal, lignite, iron ore, copper, lead, zinc, uranium, tungsten, mercury, pyrites, magnesite, fluorspar, gypsum, sipilite, kaolin, potash, hydropower, and arable land. So as ang kanina ko na-mention mo siya ang mga natural resources sa Spain. Then let's proceed to the political geography of Spain. So sa dara sa picture, so ang ila chief of state dito is King Felipe VI. King Felipe VI, then Canada na sa picture. Then ang ila president is their government president is Pedro Sanchez Perez Castijan. So the government kingdom of Spain is the Kingdom of Spain that proclaimed king in June 19 with the promise of a renewed monarchy and a new Spain. So their constitution is adopted in 1978 that focus on the basic rights, public liberties, duties of the citizens, principles of social and economic policy, the structure of the partial monarchy, and the parliament. So this constitution served as a means to begin the Spanish transition to a democracy. So as I mentioned kanina, their government type is parliamentary constitutional monarchy. So this constitution served as a beginning to the Spanish transition to a democracy. Then so their capital of Spain is the Madrid. Then the Spanish mainland extends to 1,085 kilometers on east and west and 950 kilometers to north to south. So it is occupying the Europe is occupying the greater part of the Iberian Peninsula with an area of 504,782 504,782 square kilometers. So this includes nas ang kaning Balearic Islands. So as we see in the maps, so nakuha na ang Balearic Island, Balearic Island in the Western Sea and the Canary Island. So in the Atlantic Ocean is the west of the Morocco. Then both island groups are regarded as an integral part of the metropolitan Spain. So Spain has a total land boundary of 1,918 kilometers and a coastline of 4,964 kilometers. So ang Europe, it is bordered by the Bay of Biscay. So there are Bay of Biscay. So tanaw ta sa map ani. Then France and Andorra on the north. Then in the Mediterranean on east and west is the Strait of Gibraltar. So there are Gibraltar. Then Portugal and the Atlantic on the west. Dara. So the continental in Spain is divided into 5 general topographic regions. So the first topographic region is the northern coastal belt. So kani siya is mountainous region with fertile valleys and covered with forests na kaning region. So fertile man ang land dito, so rich in agriculture ni ang kaning region sa the northern coastal belts. So rich in mga natural resources dito kay it is covered by the forest. Then second is the central plateau or the meseta. So it is an average latitude of about 670 meters or 2,200 feet that comprises the Castilla, La Mancha, and the city of the Madrid. So kani siya nga region is kanang dako ni siya nga region, so flat gid ni siya. So that comprises the Castilla, La Mancha. So nga city sa Madrid. So dako gini siya nga lugar, dako gini siya nga region dito sa Europe. So third region is the Andalusia. So it is the largest city that covers whole of the southern and the southwestern Spain. Then fourth is the Levante. So it is a coastal belt with Valencia. Then Valencia is a shift of cities, coastal belts ang kaning the Levante. Then Then last region is the Catalonia. So Catalonia and the Ebre Valley comprises the northeastern region. So large gihapon ni siya nga area or region ang kaning Catalonia. So lots of people sa ang nagpuyo-ani diri nga region. Then cultural life na ta. So cultural life. So the official language in Spain or Spanish is, or Castilian Spanish is, the official language in Spain is Spanish. So most people is speak sila dito og Spanish. Then gamay ra pud ang mo speak dito og kanang Catalan, Valencian and Basque. So most people spoken dito is Spanish. Then their famous dance is flamenco. So it is a traditional dance of Spain. So it is a solo dance characterized by hand clapping, footwork, body movement, accompanied by singer and a guitar player. So ang kaning flamenco is most commonly ang mosayod ani kay girls, kay because girls are kanang stretchable kay glawas, like kanang grabe kay musway ang mga babae. So money famous dito sa Spain. Then their instrument is the castanet. So it is the most common traditional instrument in Spain. Then it is a percussion instrument. So it is held in the hand and stuck together to produce a sound. So gamiton ko ito hands ani para i-stuck together para makaproduce ni siya og sound. So then their famous sports in Spain is bullfighting. So it is an important national sport in Spain that killed each year of 24,000 bulls. So many parts elas sports dito each year gini sila. So as we see sa ako kuan kay kanang daghan gid kay mga bulls ang mga matay lang sa usa lang ka tuig because it is their part of their culture and tradition kaning magpaduwa sila aning mga bullfighting, like kanang mga like katulaging mga tao imo anha sa kuan sa bulls. So we know ang mga bulls kay kanang mga isog kaayo ni sila nga mga kuan ay animals that can kill people also. So kani is gi-debate ay kana daghan ang wa ganahi ani nga sports nga kaning bullfighting kay because bulls also have life. So nganong patyon man na, it is just like as human. So daghan ang wa gyud gi-approve about ani nga sports because of lagi kaning makakilled og mga bulls. So sa Madrid is legal ni siya. Pero sa Catalonia it is banned because of gibutaran dito sa Catalonia nga gibutaran dito kung kinsay ay gilain nila ang mo agree ug ang mo disagree. So daghan man ang gi-disagree aning bullfighting. So giban ni siya dito because sa Catalonia is kana concerned kay mga tao dito about aning mga bulls animal. So it is banned. Pero sa Madrid it is legal gihapon dito. So then clothing to the Spanish. So ang clothing dito sa male is like kana gihapong mga matadors. So mo ni kasagaran mga isulob sa mga men dito sa Spain is kaning nga ma-relate ang ilaha traditional clothing sa kaning kuan ay ball fighting na kaning matadors. Then while sa girl is the kuan ay garments like the mantilla, pinita and gilet. So it is nice gid siya nga clothing garments nga isuot sa mga especially girls dito sa Spain because of kanang white siya color. Then it is people wear this garment during the special events and celebration such as wedding, parades, and regional celebrations. Then their famous food sa Spain. So ang mga Spanish people is kanang ganahan sila mga seafoods good dito. So they are famous cuisine in terms of seafood. So their famous food is the paella. So kaning paella is lots of good seafood to add. So kasagaran gud ani is puro gud sa mga seafoods good. Then tortilla. So tortilla or the potato omelette. So potato omelette. So kung ano ni dito sa ilaha o kanang snacks ni ang tortilla dito that consisting the potato and the egg that they mix together. So it is tortilla or called it a potato omelette. Then third is the tapas. So ang tapas is kanang appetizer ni siya. So it can be cold or hot. So pwede ra init or bugnaw ninyo siya kaunon. Then it is mixed olives and cheese. So then is the flan. So kani flan is a dessert, baked egg and creamy pudding. So pare-pareha sa siya latte flan. Then last is the zarzuela. It is a stew seafood of various fish and shellfish. So nag-consist gyapon siya og lots of seafoods. Kani zarzuela. Then the national day. So i-celebrate ni sa Spain ang national day that's celebrated on October 12 because with the advent of the democracy in Spain on October 12. Then so ang nakakuan aning sa mga Spanish is kana their nightlife because dumurag ang bar bitaw kay murag ilan na tahanan kay because of pareha sa diri ba. So the Spaniards influenced their culture to us. So like sa ato ay pareha sa diri sa ato nga kanang they love kanang mabuntagan na lang sa bar because hilig yun og sayaw ang mga Spanish people like sa kanato dere. So the nightclubs are the main attraction for teenagers. So doon na sila ang ilan nang doon na sa gud na gud sa mga bar. Then fiestas and traditions. So ang kuan gihapon like diri sa atua ang fiesta ang ila dito holidays and fiestas is holiday na dito is like Christmas, Easter, Saints Day. So na makarelate sa religious based. So ang religion day dito sa Spain is kanang kuan ay ang religion sa Spain is mostly good dito is Roman Catholic dito sa Spain. Then their famous festivals is the La Tamborada. So kaning La Tamborada is they can consider is a bizarre to some because of mukuan man gid ni siya o is no kanang pinakasaba gini siya dito because of ang apil ani nga parade is kanang magdagit sila og each drums to produce sound gud dito. Then sabak kay ni sila kay magparade ni sila nya kusog kaayo ang kanang ilaha beat sa drum. So this is the festival La Tamborada. Then La Tomatina fight or tomato fight. So kani siya tomato fight. So it is a big highlights on Spain summer festivals with the thousands of people flocking to this little Valencian town for this chaotic event. So kani siya kay is kana maghinapakay og tomato ang mga tao dito that happens every year on the last Wednesday in August. So hugaw kay mo hinagdugo tan-awon ang tomato. So tomato fight that happens every year in Spain. So that's the La Tomatina or the tomato fight. So daghan kay ni sag mga tao gyud nga mo witness ani nga events. Then next is the Las Fallas de Valencia. So kani siya Las Fallas de Valencia is kaning giila ni gi-celebrate because of the para i-cherish nila ang mga gigantic colorful characters that kanang apil na bitaw sa ilang mga culture about sa mga giants like that. So munang lots of people sad nga mo witness pud ani nga events, festivals dito. So daghan kay mga colorful like mga gigantic, like what I said, mga gigantic nga kuan. Then is the Feria del Caballo or the horse fair. So kani nga festival is more on about gid siya sa horse. Then each of the people bring their own horses to ride it. So they celebrate it because it is everyone come together to enjoy the horse parade. So wag kay makita dito nga naglakaw, so plus gid nagsakay sila sa kabayo to showcase also the beauty of their horses, each horses. So it is a traditionally and festivals in Catalonia. So it is a Castile or in Castile in a Catalan's pronunciation. Is ganing Catalan is or human tower belt. So traditional pud ni nila dito is kaning nga na green nga na diri sa picture is kaning mao gini sila moy permi gid makadaog yun kada fair ani nga kuan ay nga events because of is kani magyud ang mo kanang mag-build sila og human tower belt. So mag-build sila ilaha self nga kinsa pinakataas. So daghan ni sila nga mag-compete mga 5 cities ba ay lagi 5 city mga more on depende sa kanamo apil. So kanang i-held pero kanang it is daghan gid kaig mga nahitaboan nga mga accidents, especially kanang mga igabot na bitaw sa top, pinakaigbawa na gud is mangurog ang mga participants ani, then mabungkag na noon ang ilaha kuan ay ila position, then mga hug na noon ang mga bata gikan sa igbaw. So it is not really a safe game, but naanadam sa mga tao didto ani gid nga kanang naay mga mahug cause it is part of the game nga naagay ma-accidents. So kanina ka green mo gini sila per may makadaog because of patience nila ani. So pero ang mga bata didto nga itungtong sa pinakaigbawan is kanang giprotektahan ang ila gid head, ipasulob sila daan og kanang headgear para gid kung in case makuan is dili makuan ilaha o. Then so this is the last 12 ovas or the 12 grapes of luck. So at midnight is kinahanglan sa wa pa alas 12 mag-ugom na sila daan og 12 ka grapes sila ba. So para ilagyud ang tuson nga maabot ang midnight nga nag-ugom sila anang na nga nasud sila ba ang 12 ka grapes because of they believe nga it is nga ang 12 kuno ka grapes kung makuana nimo is kanang ang imo mga each month is kanang lucky. So lucky kay kanang na imo man na sud sa imo ba ang 12 grapes sa imuha ba. So what I said, it serves as luck and a prosperous day to start a new year. Then the marriage, both religious and civil marriages, are recognized in Spain. So sa religious marriages is that the Roman Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim can be celebrated in Spain without requiring an additional civil marriage. It is provided the officiant is legally allowed to carry out weddings. Then religious marriages have the same legal status as civil unions. So while uncivil marriages is that the couple in Spain may legally marry in a civil ceremony without a religious aspect. So init kid kayo magpakasal dito sa Spain. Then greetings. So dito sa Spain is that kung dili kanila kaila or friends ba nimo is mo greet gina sila dito like friendly people kaini ang mga Spanish people dito, like kung buntag mga sila Buenos Dias, then Odto, Buenos Tardes, then sa kung gabi na kay is Buenos Noche. So inani ka polite ang mga Spanish people dito. Then also kana mga meetings is that the woman give a kiss to women, then while boys is their while shake hands with men. So dito gyud is ang kuan sa dito is kung naay mga meeting is hindi gyud dito malikayan nga mo kiss gi ka sa imong mga ka-meeting o shake hands sad. Then let's proceed to the continent of Africa. So in Africa, I choose the country of Morocco. Then, so let's start with the population. So the current population of Morocco is 37,381,174. So it is a northwest. So the Morocco is the northwesternmost country in Maghreb region of North Africa. So they are also overpopulated and that highly urbanized by many people. Then economy and resources. So Moroccans remains heavily dependent on the exports of the raw material that altogether modern portion accounts for more than 2/3 of gross domestic product. Then it is also of growing importance to the economy are the modern sectors, particularly tourism and the telecommunications. Then Morocco is endowed with numerous exploitable resources because then of resources, so their agriculture, forestry, and fishing with approximately 33,000 square miles. So because of their arable land, so ang most people gyud dito nga panginabuhi is more on about agriculture. So because of arable land, it is a fertile soil nga makabuhi og mga tanom dito, then kanang rich siya dito ang soil. So having an agricultural potential, it is resulted in to achieve in the self-sufficiency food production. So they produce grains like corn, wheat, barley that needed for domestic consumption. So the country is actively developing its irrigation potential that ultimately will irrigate more than 2.5 million acres. So kaning kuan, the exports citrus fruits and vegetables to the European market. So also their wine industry is developed and the production of commercial crops like sugarcane, beet, sunflower is expanding dito because of is wide kailaha dito land nga makatanom gid sila dito og mga fruits, vegetables, and many more. So because of kaning location sad nila nga moto nga wide kaayo ila dito land. So political geography. So politics of Morocco takes place in a framework of so their government type is parliamentary constitutional monarchy. So whereby the prime minister of Morocco is the head of the government and a multi-party system. Then the executive power is exercised by the government. So the legislative power is vested in both the government and the two chambers are the Assembly of Morocco and the Assembly of Councillors. Then so on June 17, 2011 is that Mohammed VI announced a series of reforms that would transform Morocco into a constitutional monarchy. Then Then Morocco claims a total area of 446,550 square kilometers, of which the Western Sahara comprises. So the Morocco is slightly larger than the state of the California. So ang kaning Morocco is which extends to 1,809 kilometers and 525 km. So dako gyud ang kaning Morocco, especially na comprise dinhi ang Western Sahara. So ang Western Sahara is claimed and administered by Morocco, pero nailain ang gi-ruled over aning Western Sahara. So murag duha na hinuon ang gi-ruled ani nga kuan ay sa Western Sahara kay because of ang Western Sahara man gyud mong giilugan ni siya sa two sovereignty. So their sovereignty over Western Sahara is contested between the Morocco and the Polisario Front, and its legal status remains unresolved. So pero ang Morocco, it is seen by the Morocco as its own sovereign territory. So maong mukli na mo ruled over aning Western Sahara kaning Polisario Front because ang Western Sahara is a rocky, sandy, and sparsely populated, so that cannot be unsuited for agriculture but rich in phosphate deposits. So that's why. So then maps. So the Morocco, as we see on the map, so Morocco is bordered on the north by the Mediterranean Sea and the two Spanish enclaves of Ceuta and the Melilla. Ceuta and Melilla. Then on the east and the southeast is the Algeria. On the south of the Western Sahara, and in the south is the Western Sahara, and the west is Atlantic Ocean. So the Atlantic Ocean. So a total boundary length of 2,018 kilometers and a coastline of 1,835 square kilometers. Then Morocco is divided into three natural regions. So the first is the fertile northern coastal plain along the Mediterranean. So which contains mountains varying in elevation about 2,400 meters. So as we see gid dere is mountainous gid ang kaning region. So the fertile northern coastal. So then second is the rich plateaus and lowlands lying between the three parallel ranges of rugged Atlas. So mountainous Gaponisia, which extend from the Atlantic coast in southwest to Algeria and the Mediterranean in the northeast. Then third is the semi-arid area in southern and eastern Morocco, which merges into the Sahara Desert. So it is emerged on Sahara Desert. It is so kanig emerge sa Sahara Desert. So dool lagi siya dito. Then also digid mabuhi ang kaning mga crops dere nga region. Then the Atlas Mountain that have an average elevation of 3,350 meters and 11,000 feet. So it is contained of the highest peak in North Africa. So first ni siya ang Atlas Mountain as the highest peak in North Africa. So first ning Atlas Mountain, then second highest mountain peak is the Mount Toubkal with 4,165 meters and 13,665 feet, the highest of all. Then the south of the Atlas are the anti-Atlas mountains with volcanic of Mansurua, the 3,300 meters and 10,800 feet mountains. So Morocco has the most extensive river system in North Africa. So the capital of Morocco is the Rabat. So the flag of Morocco is consists of a green five-pointed star at the center of the red field. So their flag represents the red background, the hardiness, bravery, strength, and valor, while the green represent love, joy, wisdom, peace, and hope. So on the other hand, it also represents the color of Islam, and the pentagram represent the seal of Solomon. Then the five branches also represent the pillars of Islam. So then proceed to the cultural life of the Morocco. So the official two languages that mostly people spoke is Arabic and Amazigh. Then their holidays. So their holidays is the Ramadan and the Eid al-Adha. So the Ramadan is a month of fasting prayer when no eating, drinking, or smoking is not permitted to dawn to sunset. So kaning Ramadan is gani di gani siya mukaon, so skip diri ang mga pregnant women then children. Ani nga kuan ang mga kuan na gid nga mga tawo na ani gyud mindful na ani gyud ang makaapil ani nga Ramadan, because what if magligoy ang mga bata, then so sa pregnant woman sad kay di sad siya pwede kay because of di sad na pwede nga di na lang gid mukaon ang mga mabdus kay because they need to eat, because there is a baby that they need to feed inside their body. So then while kaning Eid al-Adha, so it is a feast of the sacrifices. So it is the most important didtong holidays ang kaning Eid al-Adha nga magkuan sila sheep, mag-ihaw og sheep. Then so ang kaning food good aning mga Morocco is they have a great cuisines nga kanang lots of spices good dito that nga ila gyud i-add sa kanang mga dish dito, like ganahan gyud og mga spices ang mga Moroccan. So their famous cuisine is the tagine. So tagine, it is a braised chicken with spices, garlics, onions, olives, and preserves lemon. So Manila famous cuisine dito. Then their pastilla. So it is a filling on thin flaky pasture shell with a mixture of tender breast poultry and fried almonds. So kani gihapon is considered as a dessert na gihapon. Considered a dessert ni ang pastilla dito. So it is a delicious gihapon ni siya nga dessert kasi it is sweet and full of sweetness. Then their drinks also dito is the menti, because of menti is kuan man ni siya, ang menti is kanang made in freshly squeezed like kanang mga tea ni siya nga mga healthy made tea dito sa ilaha nga kanang dili pod ni mawa sa ilaha kuan dito sa ilaha, magtapad gud sila aning tea because di kanang para ma-hydrated gud sila ani nga tea. So mo ni ila national drink dito ang kani. So bisag mukaon sila dessert or mga meals, so di gini mawa ang tea. Kinahanglan nagtapad gud sila kuan ang kaning tea because it is a healthy drink, fresh. It is fresh there. Then the Moroccan style. So the notoriety that the Moroccan style is like this, kaning ako gi example nga mga Moroccan style. So this is fascinating with its decoration, arts, and richness of beautiful colors and patterns. So mga Moroccan style gud is kanang nindot kay gud ila mga design gud dito, mga colorful kaayo, mga texture like that, mga hindot ka dito ilang mga kuan ay mga artwork like that artwork nga mga just what I said nga mga colorful ka dito because they blend and the fusion of African, Andalusian, Arabian, Berber, and European style nga muna siya nag-create og unique and timeless. So mo ni sa ang pottery niya dito is famous dito because of the art of it. The hindot kay dito the ilaha dito kanang pottery because colorful nga made sa henna ang ilaha pagka paint ani nga mga pottery. Then also the Moroccan carpet. So Moroccan carpet is makapili agad dito og mga different colors and style because of kanang daghan gihapon dito kay it is a famous around the world. So it is a woven. So as you see sa picture nga ako gikuan is kanang hindi kaayod ang mga colors pagka-blend sa ilang mga colors. So hindi kaayod ang pagka-create dito sa mga kuan dito ilang mga arts nila dito. Then beautiful colors. Then their tradition. So Moroccan generally shake hands and also they put their hands on near in their heart to have a greetings to greet their fellow people. So mostly shake hands with sila dito. Then so we know that the Moroccan generally shake hands when greeting after which one ang usanin nila which one touch the heart di ay. So then di pwede then second is dili pwede mukaon nga ang gamiton kay ang gamiton is ang left hand. So always right hand gud ang kaunon didto. Ang gamiton nga kuan o kamot. Di gid ka mo gamit anang imuha mga di ka pwede dito mo gamit anang imuha left hand. So always use your right hand. Also, it is impolite to point out people or pointing out using your feet. So it is impolite because you don't have respect because nandi ay nga tawgon na nimo dai siya. So no need to point out that people. So also improper to cross their legs. So improper pud na dito ang kanang i-cross their legs. So di ka kita dito mga tao nga i-cross gud nila ila legs dito especially sa mga girls. So they considered is improper to cross legs. So then weddings. So ang nakahindot sa weddings dito sa Morocco is that ang mga babae gyud dito is kanang kuanan bitaw ilaha hands kanang ikuanan ay kanang agi art ila kamot ba. So hands, not just hands but also the feet. So dito ang mga bride gyud dito is kanang indot kay ilaha kamot especially sa ila na mga wedding because of kanang ilaha kamot is kanang butangan og i-paint og henna that made from the red plant. So hindot kay sad gyud ang sad pagka paint pagka kuan sa ilaha hands because sa style nga pag-iun sa pagka kuan din sa bride sa ang kuan sa kamot mga painting. Then on the second day, so gideclared na ni second day celebration sa kasal nila that they are officially part of the family members. Like sa lalaki, sa side sa lalaki is kanang kuan na gyud sila confirmed and acceptable na nga part na sila sa family and likewise also sa girls. Then so their festival. So kani the Fez World Festival is that it is a sacred music. So it is an annual festival that held for a week in June that bring most known spiritual dancers and musicians of the Morocco. So it is dedicated to the sacred. Then the Marrakesh Festival. So it is distinguished the quality of program planning, editorial and artistic positioning, which favors a great cinematographic opening. So kaning the Marrakesh Festival is kanang ma-showcase didto ang mga gi-celebrate nila didto ang mga gipang showcase nga mga artistic, mga editorial, mga cinematograph nga na features nila didto sa mga editorial. So Marrakesh Festival is more on sa pag-showcase sa mga editorial, program planning. Then Mawazan Festival. So ang kining Mawazan Festival, it is an approach to open ourselves to the world culture. So it is an approach to open ourselves to our cultures. Then traditional clothing. So traditional clothing for the men. So they call it jilaba for men and for women. So ang salaki o sara ila dito kuan ay traditional clothing mo ni for men kaning simple ra kay nga kanang whole ra gid siya, the neutral colors. So women side is casual gihapon siya pero kuan ay kanang more sag na necktie. Then daghan maning sa girls traditional clothing, so jilaba sa men ug sa also sa women, then also the Moroccan kaftan, so that it is decorated with many ornaments. So casual gihapon siya nga so sinina. So then also the tikitsa, like tikitsa gihapon is kanang casual gihapon siya nga sinina, that kaning mga traditional clothing man gyud dere is kanang it is worn in events like wedding. So manginit sad pud og mga clothing ang mga Moroccan. So nginit kay siya silag mga style in terms of kaninang mga outfit or clothing. Then their famous sports is the soccer. So na kuan nila dito ang soccer because of that ang mga Europeans magyud ang nag-brought the sport to their country in the 19th century. So muna ni ang soccer popular na kanidto sa Morocco and their famous sports, and a successful growing national team ang Morocco. Then so proceed sa North America. North America. So in the continent of North America, I choose the country of Canada. So Canada. So let's start with the population of Canada. So the current population of Canada as of 2021 is 38,107,385. So it is so Canada is the fourth largest country by land area. So many said that Canada is a small population inhabitants. So then their economy and resources. So Canada has the highest total estimated value of natural resources, valued at 33.2 trillion US dollar in 2019. So economy of Canada is a highly developed mixed economy. So it is the 9th largest gross domestic product by the nominal and the 15th largest gross domestic product in the world. So it has the world's they are the major exporter of petroleum and the fourth exporter of the natural gas. So nganong na-exporter man sila because the world's third largest petroleum reserves, and also daghan sila mga proven nga mga petroleum nga ilagi, daghan kay sila didto nga rich sila ani og ang sagasad. So that's why that Canada is considered as an energy superpower because of the abundance of the natural resources. So Canada is also one of the wealthiest nations in the world that employed many Canadians because of its service industry. Then so they are member of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Group, and produces and export numerous commodities including the natural forest products, manufactured items including automobiles, oils, and also the minerals. So ma-employ gid ng mga Canadian dito because of rich gid ni sila sa mga kuan ay high-tech na gid ni ilang mga gamit dito. So that's why nag-need sila dagdag mga people to work on it. Then the Canada has long ranked among the world leaders in the production of uranium, zinc, nickel, potash, asbestos, sulfur, cadmium, and titanium. So they are also a major producer of iron ore, coal, petroleum, gold, copper, silver, lead, and a number of ferroalloys. Then, their political geography. So their chief of state their chief of state is si Governor General David Johnston. So, ang ila head of government is Prime Minister Stephen Joseph Harper. Then, the capital city of Canada is Ottawa. Then their suffrage rights is in order to vote on Canada is you need to be a Canadian citizen. So dili ka Canadian citizen is dili ka ka-vote dito. So they are a fragmented state. So their government type is their government structure is a federal monarchy. Then they are a parliamentary democracy, a federation, and a constitutional monarchy. Then, na-mention na ako ganina is the capital of Canada is Ottawa. So their flag is red stylized maple leaf with 11 position at the center of a white background and the vertical red bands on the left and the right sides not only represent the cultural heritage of the nation. So, in the other hand, their flag symbolizes hope, peace, tranquility, and neutrality dominant in the country. So, cultural life. So, the official languages spoken in Canada are the English and the French. Also, there are many more English speakers than French. So, mostly yun dito ang spoken dito nga language sa Canada is English good dito kaysa sa French. So, they are really good in English dito. Then, their religions dito is kandahan dito ang Catholic. Roman Catholic dito. Then, the Canadian culture has been primarily influenced by the various European cultures and traditions of its constituent nationalities, particularly the British and the French culture, and also influences from the culture of indigenous people and the neighboring USA. So that's why ang Canada is kanang very open na gid kaayo sila nga mo accept og mga cultures, other cultures and religions sa lain. So they are accepting attitude towards other cultures. So acceptance gid sila dito. So sa Canadian clothing is sila dito is ganang traditional clothing because of ang dito mangyud is we know ang Canada is very kanang tugnaw kaayo, very cold place. So do permi lang mag-winter dito. So that's why their traditional Canadian clothing pieces are the parkas, turkeys, ojibwa shirts, metens, and the ermaps. So ang kaning parkas, it is a jacket nga baga. So baga kaya siya nga jacket nga marap gyud ta nang imobali nga dili na nakaka-feel sa kabugnaw dito. So also nga ang kaning sad gihapon ang kaning ila parkas dito is nag-consist gihapon ni og kanang nanabitaw kanang hooded dito nga baga sad gihapon siya nga murag naa siya mga feather nga gipalibot sa hood. Then the tukis. So ang kaning tukis is a bonnet. So kao ni siya nga kuan sa head, i-wrap sa head. Then the ojibwa shirts, so kuan na ni siya gihapon jacket sad nga dili sad siya nipis kanang more sa jacket siya nga nipis nga isapaw gihapon siya. Then the mittens, so kanang mittens is gloves ni siya sa kamot. Then earmuffs, so sa ear protection sa para sa katugnaw. Then the shared values in Canada, so they are openness, respect, compassion, willingness to work hard to be there for each other, to search for equality and justice. So mo ni nakakuan sa Canada, nakangindot yun dito. Then the biggest holiday in Canada is their biggest holiday is the Christmas. Then their famous Canadian foods is the poutine. So kaning poutine is French fries that have a cheese curd stuffed with a brown gravy. So it is made by potato. So this is a famous. So because of the unique gravy that nga kanang lami siya iparis. Then also the Caesar cocktail. So kani Canadian Caesar recipe is kaning it is also nga kanang makatabang sa kanang mga hangover like kanang especially sa mga drunkers. So they tend to drink the Caesar cocktail because kanang makakuan gid o matagid ilang mind because of this. It is contains also of spices nga ma-awakening sa ilang mind, so that's why ilang over mawala gid ani. So then as we see kanang more sa dugo because it is similar to blood of Bloody Mary. So that's it. Then the female bacon, so is a wet gourd and smoked back bacon. So it is a bacon that a boneless pork rolled in a cornmeal and is found mainly in southern Ontario. So kani sa bacon famous dito. Then also the Canadians loves pizza. So the typically includes tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, bacon, pepperoni, and mushrooms. So ang pizza is famous foods ko dito sa Canada. Then the butter tart. So ang kaning butter tart is more siya cupcake pero kuan ni siya nani siya kanang it is baked in a pastry shell. So it is ang naka-unique ani siya, it is a crunchy nani siya crunchy top sa egg bow. So kaning butter tart is kuan ni siya dessert ni siya dito sa Canada that contains sweetness also gihapon. Then Canada is kanang kuan gid ni siya dito ang mga people is kanang very polite. So wag og kuan ka like kanang ma-influence na noon dito ba because of they have a really good manners towards people in mingling. So Canada is really much good people there nga kanang digi ka dito mabastos gid dito kay because of kanang naa sila dito yung manners towards each people. Then kung mukaon sad ka dito is pwede ra sad nga mangutana ka sa kanang waiter nga unsa na siya nga kuan ay kanang unsa na siya nga ingredients butang ana nga food nga imo gi-order. So pwede ra ka mangutana dito. So kay dili para makanosad ka ba pero dili sila ma-offense nga kuan pero dili na dito offense dito nga mangutana ka sa mga ingredients. So pero ikaw man nimo og pangutana is kanang kinahanglan di gid mo malimtan mo say og thank you. So then also kaning third is kanang kung i-invite ka og mga party, so make sure nga magdagi kag mga gift. Like also pwede ra ng bottle of wine, chocolate, so nanan magdaka dito sa dito. Okay, it is considered to be a polite there. And then also elbows, kung mga una, elbows should not be put in the table. So kinahanglan hands gud naa. So dili gid pwede ang elbows imo itungtong og apil sa lamisa. Then also punctuality is important dito. But arriving 15 minutes for dinner party is acceptable. So kinahanglan kung malate kag 15 minutes, okay ra na siya. Pero kung maabot kag hours nga late na ka is not acceptable dito is ang ilang gyud taman dito is 15 minutes gyud ang acceptable nila dito. Then their Canada celebration. So the Canada Day celebration, it is that held in the 1st of July. So it is witness the locals and the streets adorning the colors of the red and white. So red and white gid dito kay because pero kay red and white gid dito ang makit-an because of their flag. So red and white gid imo makita dito. So this festival includes the extensive amount of delicious Canadian beer and the vibrant fireworks to celebrate. So this is the way and the most traditional way possible. So kaning Canada Day celebration is kanang showcase is to showcase unsay naaana sa Canada. So then is the Folklorama Festival. So this festival is about the origin and the ethnicities participate to showcase the cuisines, cultures, art, music, and the folk dances. So then also the Pride of Toronto. It is one of the biggest festival in Canada that dedicated and celebrated by the LGBT community in the Greater Toronto area. So it has become an annual celebration. So as we see sa kaning Pride of Toronto images, diri sa reports is kaning nga lugar is diha nag-held og protest ang mga LGBT community ani dere. So that's why diri sad giheld ang ila festivals because a day to remember about to kuan sa ila LGBT community totally acceptance. So their famous sports there is ice hockey. So ice hockey gud dito kay because of ice tugnaw gud kay dito. So ice hockey. So and it is most successful sport in the competition ang kani ice hockey sa Canada. Then the Canada Art and Literature, so rich gihapon og art and literature of Canada because their art and literature was influenced by the church primarily. So then next continent is the South America. So in the South America, I choose the country of Argentina. So Argentina. So let's start with the population of Argentina. So the current population of Argentina is 45,652,238. So the southern half so Argentina is the southern half of South America. It is the second largest country in the South America after Brazil. So highly urbanized gihapon ni ang Argentina dito. Densely populated. Then so their economy and resources. So Argentina is one of the largest economies in the Latin America because of their gross domestic product that approximately 400 billion US dollar dito. So with their vast natural resources of energy and agriculture. So ang Tunisia is endowed with fertile land, gas, and lithium reserves and has a great potential for renewable energy. It is leading food producer with a large-scale agriculture and livestock industries. So ang kaning Argentina is also dato sa gapon sa country because of their economies also. So their services nga nga ma-employed po dito ang mga people because like sa kapangiingon nga it's kanang ila economies. So rich sila economies that need people to work on it. Then that's why Argentina, because of their their economies. So they have a lot of so Argentina has significant opportunities in manufacturing subsectors and innovative service in a high-tech industries. Then so kani so there 2.8 square kilometers of territory. So Argentina's economic performance has historically been very uneven with a high economy's growth alternating with severe recessions, particularly since the late 20th century. So the Argentina's economic performance is kanang kuan na gid siya kanang sa una magyud is kanang ang Argentina is poor country, so motong gi-increase dito ang kanang poverty and kanang maldistribution dito. So because of kanang nagka-develop na ang kaninga country is nawa na to ang so gi-decrease na ang kaning poverty and the maldistribution because of kanang daghan na ang mga tao dito nga kanang mga employed because of their economies that offers a lot of opportunities to those peoples that willing to have a job. So then the political geography of Argentina. So the politics of Argentina takes place in the framework of what the Constitution defines as a it defines a federal presidential representative. So where the president of Argentina is both head of state and head of government. Legislative power is vested in the two chambers of the Argentina's National Congress. The judiciary is independent of the executive and the legislative. Then their election takes place regularly as a multi-party system. Then sa map. So there's a map is that the Argentina is bounded by Bolivia. To the northeast is the Paraguay. Then to the east is by the Brazil, Uruguay and the Atlantic Ocean. Then to the south and west is by the Chile, with a total land boundary of 9,665 square kilometer. Then also Argentina is for the most part of the lowland country, so it is divided into 4 topographical regions. So the first is the Andean region. So it is a high plateau of the Bolivian border. So it is sa kaning Andean region, they consist of 1,800 volcanoes where 28 volcanoes were active. So daghan kay volcanoes kaning Andean region. Then is the north. So kaning the north is comprised the lowlands between the Andes and the Parama River and the Mesopotamia. So ang the north is consisting nigid siya of water, bodies of water ang north. Then the Pampas. So the Pampas are a grassland divided into western and eastern parts. So flat ni siya ang Pampas. So then the Patagonia. So Patagonia is the cold partia windy region. So kaning Patagonia region is it is very cold dito kay mag-snow dito nga region ang kaning Patagonia. So it's really cold there. Then the capital of Argentina is the Buenos Aires. So their flag is the national consists of a white horizontal stripe between two light blue horizontal stripes. So centered in the white band is a radiant yellow sun with a human face. So in the other hand, top is the golden sun of May, signifying as new and glorious nation rising to the surface of earth. The light blue stripes considered clear skies and the snow of Andes. The sun symbol the appearance of the sun through cloudy skies. Then let's proceed to the cultural life of Argentina. So the religion of the Argentina is ang kuan gid dito is Roman Catholic gid dito. because the Argentina also colonized by the Spaniards, so that's why there lots of and or a majority dito is Roman Catholic ang religion. So their official languages is Spanish, then second na ang English dito language dito sa Argentina. So their famous food dito is the asado. So ang kaning asado also is the ways Argentina heart is to its asado, because ang kaning Argentina magyud it is a dessert also, that in the center of the asado there is a sweetness that consists in there. That's why it is a famous dito. So they have a sweet feelings. Then also the alfajores. So kuan gyapon ni siya dessert siya. So they have become a typically and traditional sweet treat in Argentina. So it is consists of 2 round cookies made with wet flour and butter with sandwich and exquisite caramel center. So pareha sa sig asado because of sa tunga is na agad siya kanang flavor, so na sweetness sa tunga. Then the sharing mate. So kani sa sharing mate ni siya kay kani ang sud ani nga kuan kani nga murag baso is kuan ni siya tea ang sud ani niya. So it is made out of the dried leaves of the yerba mate. So it is a fresh tea that mostly Argentina dito is kaning moon ni sa ilaha imnon dito. Then they shared it to others to spread also the healthiness of drinking this tea. So it is sipped through a metallic straw known as they called it the bombilla. So then tango. Tango is perhaps Argentina's most famous cultural contribution to the world stage, and the few visitors to the country escapes in this play. So tango, it is known as a famous dances of the modern history in Argentina. Tango was the name for the music of the slaves at the time in the Argentina. So their famous sports is also the soccer because of the influences of the Spaniards people. So soccer is the more than mere sports that they are passionate about their teams and players. So soccer na famous dito. So clothing, dara clothing sa girls and boys sa Argentina. Then gaucho. So gaucho ang name dito sa mga cowboys sa South American countries. So these cowboys became greatly admired and renowned in indigenous folklore and literature and become an important parts of Argentina's regional cultural tradition. So kasagaran sa mga Argentina is mga cowboys o cowgirls. This is the a typical footwear in Argentina. So these shoes are made from canvas with a rope. So ngindot ni siya nga kuan ay nga footwear nga kuan dito sa Argentina because of having its the different that consisting a different light colors. So it is very popular today with people who work outdoors. So kanang lig-on sad pud ni siya ang kaning kuan kaning footwear dito. Then sa laki is they wear these pants that called is the bumbacas. So kani nga bumbacas is typically mga kuan dito horseback riding ang gamit ani nga pants or the bumbacas clothing because of kanang maka comfortable ni siya isulob especially sa mga boys. Then also the poncho. So pareha ni siya sweater pero wala siya gipurma gyud nga mga bukton sa tao kanang wala siya isab itra sa imuha kuan ba imuha liog pero maka kuan gihapon ka magamit gihapon siya kung mag winter. So magamit gihapon nimo siya dito to protected from the winter cold weather. So also sad magamit po sa dito sa kanang mag horseback riding pod. Then also the famous festival is the Folklore National Festival in the Cosquín. So it is the most important festival in Argentina. So it is lasted over 9 months in the small city in Cordoba. Also parade. So the Montreal Comedy is also commonly known as Just for Laughs that has been an annual Montreal event since in 1983. So kani magyod is kanina siya nga festival is ang mga famous comedian actor or mga famous mga comedian is naagid siya dire to kuan sad o to show sad ilang mga kuan o capabilities in kanang i-share pud nila ilang mga kuan ba mga jokes towards the people that watching there. So that's why the comedian artists will go in this festival. Then so the Toronto International Film Festival, so it is one of the leading film festival in the world, ranking closely to the with Cannes and Sundance. So it is known for the kick-off to the award season with many films in Toronto going to get nominated for Golden Globes Awards and Oscars. Then their holidays is the Truth, Justice and Memorial Day because it is the remembrance and commemorating of the victims of the Dirt War. Then also they celebrated the Independence Day as their holidays because they were colonized by the Spanish empires. Then their famous holiday is Christmas and New Year. Then dito sa Argentina is mostly dito is kanang hapit na gud sa alas 12 sila mo eat sa ila dinner because of kanang kuan man gid ilha didto o kanang primera sa kada oras is kaon sila snacks. That's why nga dugay kay sila mo kaon nga mahapit na lang sa alas 12 ilha kaon. So kanang magkuan bitaw ba kanang murag pirmi lang sila mag snacks like that, magsig snacks igatod na sad snacks na sad. So that's why kanang dugay kay sila magutman. So maabta na sila kagutom kanang hapit ng alas 12. So dianha na sila mo kaon because they love sharing time with friends and also living the long nightlife in cities that the days are very very long. O ang lain-sad nga reason is nga nandugay sa sila mo kanang mukaan is kanang murag hilig kay sa laagan kaini sila. Then also ang kiss. Ang kiss po dito is also a greetings. So pwede ra sila mo kiss sa cheek sa babae or malalaki man as long as kanang close na gud nila. Pero di pa na pwede kung dili pwede dito mo kiss is kanang kung dili gud nimo kay kaila kanang first meet up pa ninyo ba. So it's better to shake hands dito. Then in Oceania or Australia, I choose the country of New Zealand. So let's start with the population of New Zealand. So the current population of New Zealand is 4,865,360. So it is an island country in the south. So the New Zealand is the island country in the South Pacific Ocean, the southwesternmost part of the Polynesia. So New Zealand is being home to 1/3 of the country's entire population, that estimated and increasing at time to time. Then the economy and resources of the New Zealand is that the primary sector continues to dominate New Zealand's exports despite accounting for 6.5% of GDP. So New Zealand have a diverse economy and has a sizable service sector accounts for 63% of all GDP of activity. So the large scale manufacturing is include na dinhi ang aluminum production, food processing, metal fabrication, wood and paper products. So their mining and also the mining, manufacturing, electricity, gas, water and waste services are accounted for 16.5% of GDP as of 2013. So the information technology sectors is growing rapidly. So New Zealand currency has the New Zealand dollar as a New Zealand currency or the New Zealand dollar also circulate in the 4 Pacific Island territories. The New Zealand dollar is the 10th most traded currency in the world. Then New Zealand has a natural resources distributed across the country. So they includes the limestone, gold, coal, iron ore, arable land, natural gas, forest, and hydropower, among others. So ang economy sa Spain is also rich gihapon sila dito because they are also a high tech that most like other country that they can employ lots of people there because they have a rich economies that gives an opportunities. Then the political geography of New Zealand. So New Zealand has a parliamentary form of government that based on the British model. So their form of government is based on the British model. So legislative power is vested into the single chamber House of Representatives. So the political part of parties that commands a majority in the House forms the government. So generally, the leader of the governing party becomes the prime minister. Then their capital is the capital of New Zealand is the Wellington. So the stars on the flag represent a southern cross constellation emphasizing New Zealand's location in the South Pacific Ocean. Then the Union Jack in the top left-hand corner of the new flag recognizes New Zealand's historical foundation as a former British colony and dominion. So cultural life. So their official language is English, Maori, Sign. So ang kaning Maori sa tribe na ni o ang sign. So English sa mga ordinary people dito is English. So sa tribe Maori sign. So there is no state religion in the New Zealand but the principal religion dito is Christianity. So majority dito is Christianity and religion dito by identifying themselves that identify them. So population, so mostly dito is Christian. Then kaning picture is it a tradition Maori greeting from the hongi. So in ani ang mga Maori, so they're going to kuan ang inyuha forehead each considered as a greetings from the visitors of the Maori tribe. Then so ang kaning New Zealand culture is influenced predominantly European and Maori. So immigrant groups have generally tended to assimilate into the European lifestyle, although traditional customs are still followed. Then their famous food in Argentina is the casual kiwi. So it is called also a kiwi barbecues because it is featuring the New Zealand beef, lambs, and food. So kani barbecue, so ila dito i-barbecue ang mga sausages, mga seafoods, beef, that kanang kuan o ganan sila mga kuan dito grilled food. That's why they are famous cuisine in the barbecues. Then, also the tasty pie is widely regarded as a New Zealand culinary icon and staple. So a tasty pie, it is also a dessert dito sa New Zealand. So it is also sweet pie. Sweet dessert pie. Then fish and chips. So fish and chips is famous dito gihapon because ang New Zealand people is they love to eat their food with the wrap of with the that being wrapped in a paper. So ganan sila fish and chips kay isud man og kanang wrap paper. That's why i-share pud nila sila mga friends, family, and they love take away meal than eating than dine in. So also this the process of the Maori hangi. So the Maori hangi food is cooked underground, pit filled with hot stones. So a hangi fest typically includes kamara, sweet potato, pumpkin, chicken, pork, lamb, and seafood. So ang Maori tribe ito is they anak nila iluto sa they cook it underground because of kanang ang baho sad niya sa foods ba is kanang lamig kay siya og kanang asu smell aning kuan kaning if anhi kuan sa underground i-cook sa underground that they produce a good smell nga makuan dito nga maluto dito, so healthy food. Then wine and food festival. So dili na gid ni mawa ang wine dili gid mawa ang di gid pwede nga ang food nila dito is wa gyud tapad nga wine because of ganahan gid sila dito og food and wine nga mag-pair yun na sila dito ang kaning sila. Then the New Zealand's biggest music festival is the Rhythm and Vines Open in New Window. So it is a 3D music festival to showcase the world's best musicians in one. Then the Women Taranaki internationally established festival. So it is brings together artists from all over the globe to celebrate music, arts, and science. That is held in the Taranaki 3 days. So gi-celebrate ni dito sila sa about gihapon siya sa arts and dances that lots also of people going there in Taranaki. Then the Explore Auckland. So Explore Auckland Festival. So it is a boutique music festivals on the beach. So unique ni siya kana sa beach on our outside. So it's like a summer experience, swimming with friends, enjoy glamping and colorful art. Then their famous sports dito is rugby, sports cricket, sports horse racing, and their extreme sports is the bungee jumping and the mountaineering. So the New Zealand do not have a specific national dress, but ang kuanan nako dire is kanang Maori clothing. So kani siyang sulod aning mga babae. So it is a traditional dress. So it is can be wear in many occasions such as royal tours and a state of funerals. Then the Maori tattoos. So the Maori tattoos are very famous there in the tribes because of the Maori tattoos are kanang unique kay siya kay murag kanang lain kay ang mga kuan dito ba, unique kaayo ang iha pagka-tattoo. Then kanang dili lang kanang tattoo lang gitato lang nga kanang gisuon ra, pero kaning each ana nga mga drawing is na symbols and a memorable moment. So that's why nga ang Maori tattoos is very famous and popular demand dito because of the style, the decorations, the texture, ana nga tattoos. Then their holiday is the Watangi Day. So it takes place undoubtedly one of the most important events of New Zealand as it is the national holiday. So it is because of its commemorate the first signing of New Zealand's founding document. Then next is the continent of Asia, so I choose the country of China. So the population. So the current population of China is 1,445,342,495. So it is really overpopulated good ang China. So dira ko na shock is China because of some country nga gitakol nako nga ko gi-choose from any continent is million ra gid siya, pero sa China gud is billion na gid siya. So that's why they legalize the abortion dito sa gilegalize sa China ang abortion dito. Because of kanang di na gid makaya ba nga naabot nag billion dito. So that's why they implement the abortion para dili sad makuan ang mga kuan dito ay para dili na kay mapuno gyud kaayo. Puno ka pwede kadaghanag tao. Billion gyud ang naa dito. So that's then the economy and resources. So we know naman so that's why China is the world populous country with an outstanding 1.44 billion citizens. Then economy and resources. So manufacturing, services, and agriculture are the largest sectors of the Chinese economy since 1949. So the Chinese government has been responsible for planning and managing the national economy. So it is employing the majority of population and making the majority of the population and making the largest contribution to the GDP or the gross domestic product. So China economy consists of a large domestic private sector, an openness to foreign business, and a system described as a socialist market economy. That's why ang kaning China is very rich na gyud karon. So highly developed na gyud ang China compared to other country. So China is kuan gyud high tech na gyud kaayo sila. Then China has extensive deposit of coal, oil, and natural gas. Beside these fossil fuels, China is a top producer of aluminum, magnesium, antimony, salt, talc, barite, cement, coal, fluorspar, gold, graphite, iron, steel, lead, mercury, molybdenum, phosphate rock, rare earths, tins, tungsten, bismuth, and zinc. Then, the China's most important mineral resources are hydrocarbons which coal is the most abundant. Then political geography of China. So China is both a core and a periphery state. The cities are core states and the rural states are the periphery states. So China's government is regarded as a one-party community dictatorship. So in which Communist Party of China has a monopoly power. So Communist Party of China has 90 million members. Small political parties, but they are all affiliated with the Communist Party. So their suffrage rights are universal at the age of 18. Then, China is divided into 22 provinces, 5 autonomous regions, and 4 municipalities under the direct control of the central government. Then the chief of state is Xi Jinping. Then the capital city of China is Beijing. Then their flag is a red field with 5 golden stars in the canton. So in the other hand, their their, their flag represents China's Communist Revolution, whereas the five stars are interpreted as a unification of the country's people under the Communist Party. Then, cultural life of China. So, citizen of China, the Chinese religion is the Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are the three major religions in China. So, ang Buddhism dito is 18.2% tara. Then, mas daghan ang Buddhism dito sa China kaysa sa Taoism and Confucianism. So, citizens of China may freely choose and express their religious beliefs and make their religious affiliations. So, the Chinese language of China that mostly people spoken is Mandarin. Then, the Lantern Festival is the famous festivals in China because it aims to promote reconciliation, peace, and forgiveness. Then also the Mid-Autumn Festival, so it is called also the Moon Festival or the Mooncake Festival, and it is the most important festival in China because of the heart in the moon, that ang lantern is maduol dito sa moon, manir sa moon. Then their holidays is the Chinese New Year because it is their holiday, the beginning of a spring and a start a new year. Then Labor Day, a sort of cheerful family holiday, meet friends and playing games like that. Their holiday. Then their arts. So Chinese art is greatly influenced by the country's rich spiritual and mystical history. That's why ang Chinese is rich sila sa mga hindot kayo ang ilang mga arts dito pareho sad sa Morocco. So ang China's foods is pareho sad gihapon is na gi-influence sa mga different countries. That's why naka-produce sila og mga hindot kay nga mga sculpture, paintings as we see sa kanang mga mga display sa mga sa mga malls. So makita kitag mga Chinese art. So hindot kay dito sila mga colorful food ila mga dito mga gigamit nga color ana. Then the Chinese wedding. So ang Chinese wedding dito is magsulog gid sila red, especially na ang babay because it is symbolized as a purity. So feature gid dito ang red color. So the traditional Chinese clothing, they have three traditional Chinese clothing are the penfu, the chaofao, and the shengi. So the penfu is mostly ang musulob ani is mga for boys. And then kaning taas kay ni siya mo sa whole dress kaning penfu nga sinina that naapod siya kanang nakayunik ani is naa siya kanang cow that kay cylinder shape. So it is a very unique costumes that is kept for special ceremonies. So it was a two-piece outfit that contains a tunic that goes down to your knees. Underneath the tunic there were a skirt that goes down to their knees. Then also the simplest of all traditional clothing is the changpao. So simple dress sa gid kay ni siya. So casual, especially babae gyud musulob ani. So kana red good ila dito good kuan. Then the shenyi. So kani sa gyapon is mo siya casual siya kay kanang gitahi man siya each good kani siya. The both pieces are stitched together. That's why the casual ni siya kay kuan kanang ipon na more sa overall. So it is suit for any occasions also gihapon ang kani siya. Then the Chinese also is famous in cuisine also, that they have also a fantastic and fantastic dishes and delicious, which can be sweet, salt, spicy, or sour. So their Peking duck is the famous. So Peking duck is a thin, crispy skin with a caramel sauce. So Peking duck, so it is lamig gid to sa nga labi nag ituslod nimo aning caramel sauce nga caramel sauce ang kaning duck. So di gid pwede mawa ang caramel because more ang caramel magdag karami. Then stinky tofu. So stinky tofu because ginganlan nila sila is because of a strong odor, pero snack karani siya ang stinky tofu. Then yak meat dumplings. So it is combined yak meat, onion, garlic, ginger, and soy sauce. So di gyapon ni pwede mawala ang sauce ani kay ang sauce pwede makapadag kalami ang yak meat dumplings. So noodles. So, famous gid ang China aning noodles. So mga nginit ka ay ilaha mga lamit gid didto ilaha kuan o pagkatimpla sa ilaha noodles didto. They have a unique yun nga lain ra gyud ba ang ila noodles diri sa atua. So that's why they are famous. This is famous cuisines in China. Then the Chinese dining etiquette and culture is kanang ang China, ang mga Chinese people is kanang kinahanglan is dungan gud sila mga on sa table, dili gud pwede magtagsa-tag sa lagkaon. So kinahanglan is whole family will be eating. No one will be left behind. So also the Chinese literature is also great influence of the Confucianism. So it was reflected in the Chinese literature, which was long developing only in traditional areas. Then also ang Chinese consisting gihapon siya og mga nginit nga mga architecture. Makita ta ng mga nabitaw point ilang mga architecture. So nginit kay ila pagka-construct dito that and also ang pagka-paint sa pud nila is ngindot pud kaayo. Ang mga textile is mga ngindot kaayo nga mga light color. They include the light colors that bring aesthetic views, mga matan-awan nato sa ilang mga architecture dito. Then the famous sports in China is soccer and basketball. So famous ginang soccer and basketball po dito sa China. Then the Eastern martial arts. So kaning martial arts is kung ano siya dito kinahanglan maka-learn pud ka dito para self defense, especially kung babae ka. So makatabang pud ni siya kani. So it is the birthplace of the kung fu. So this fighting technique is based on the animal movements and was created in the mid 1600s according to the Black Belt magazine. So pwede sad na nga maka-learn ta anang martial arts para maka-defense pud ta sa to kaugalingon. Di ta kinahanglan di na ta kinahanglan magtabang kay hibaw na ta we know how martial arts work. Then so the China have a large size of the ethnic group, united multinational state that composed of 56 ethnic groups. So dahan kaig mga groups and ethnicities dito sa China. So now let's proceed to the Venn diagram. So the Venn diagram is we can able to know the similarities and differences of population, economy and resources, political geography and cultural life of Spain, Morocco, Canada, Argentina, New Zealand, and China. So first, we're going to locate the population. The differences of the population of the Spain and Morocco is that the Spain have a 46,745,216. Then their life expectancy is 83.74 years, fertility rate is 1.366, mortality 9.312, then age structure is 15.2%, while so the male is 3,861,522, while female is 3,650,085. So While Morocco have a 37,381,174 population. Life expectancy is 76.99, fertility rate 2.346, mortality 17.615, age structure is 27.4%. The male is 4,905,626, while the female is 4,709,333. So the similarities of these two countries that is they have a high population. Their similarities, they have a high population. Then the differences also of the Canada and the Argentina is that the Canada have a 38,107,385. Life expectancy 82.66, fertility rate 1.500, mortality is 4.168. Then age structure is 50.4% of Canada's population is female, while 49% while 49.6% is the of male. So while ang Argentina po, the differences sa Argentina is their population is 45,652,338, life expectancy is 76.88, fertility rate is 2.227, mortality is 9.461, age structure is 24.2%. So the male is 5,629,188, while the female is 5,294,723. And the similarities of these two countries is that they also have a high population. Then the difference also of the New Zealand and China is that the New Zealand have a 4,865,363 population. Life expectancy is 82.50. Fertility rate is 1.868. Mortality is 3.530. Their age structure is 19.63%. So the male is 496,802, while the female is 469,853. So while the China have a 1,445,342,495 population. The life expectancy is 74.7, fertility rate is 1.699, mortality is 8.996, age structure is 17.29%. So the male is 129,296,339, while the female is 100,782,427. So the similarities also of these two countries is they have a high population. So let's proceed to the economy and the resources. So the differences is that the differences of the economy and resources of the Spain and Morocco is that the Morocco have a gross domestic product of 1.9 trillion dollar. Their unemployment is 14.0%, inflation is 0.7%, exchange rate is 0.8, LCU per US dollars. Then their gross national income is euro 289,782. Then million in March of 2021. The interest rate is 0.33% in July 2021 compared with 0.45% in the previous month. Then the resources is the kaolin, sipilite, gypsum, fluorspar, uranium, zinc, lead, copper, tungsten, iron ore, and coal. While the Morocco is that their gross domestic product is $327.3 billion. Their unemployment is 9.0%, inflation is 0.6%, exchange rate is 8,589 Moroccan dirhams per USD with a minimum of 7.2,845. Their gross national income is 111,208,438,200, or the current US dollars. Their interest rate is 1.5%. Their resources is iron, zinc, lead, copper, fluorine, silver, manganese, salt, cobalt, and gold. So the similarities of these two countries is that the per capita of the countries of this country are calculated in dollars. So also the differences of economy and resources of Canada and Argentina is that the gross domestic product of Canada is 1,670 USD billion USD billion. Their unemployment is 7.5%, their inflation is 2.2%, exchange rate is 1.2503 CDA, their gross national income is 1,651.1 billion dollar. Their interest rate is 0.25% for 2021. Their resources are the natural gas, crude oil, crude bitumen, oil sands, and coal. Then while in Argentina is that their domestic product is 425 USD billion. Then their unemployment is 10.2%. Their inflation is 48.0%. Their exchange rate is 95.390 that Rs or USD. Their gross national income of 2020 is that they have 372 trillion 835 billion 129 million 455,000.6790. The current US dollars, their interest rate is 33.84%. Then the resources is the minerals deposit of the lead, zinc, iron ore, uranium, manganese, tin, silver, copper, and tungsten. And the similarities of these two countries is that the per capita of this country are calculated in dollar. Then also the differences of economy and resources of New Zealand and China is that the New Zealand is that their gross domestic product is 205 USD billion, their unemployment is 4.6%, their inflation is 3.3%, their exchange rate is 1.401 New Zealand dollar or USD. Then gross national income is 315 billion New Zealand dollars. Their interest rate is 0.25%. The resources are coal, silver, iron ore, limestone, and gold. While China have a gross domestic product of 14,600 USD billion, their unemployment is 3.86%, inflation is 1.2%, their exchange rate is 6.477 and 6.477 RMB or USD. Their gross national income is 17,200 USD. Their interest rate is around 2 to 3%. Then their resources are coal, oil, and natural gas. So the similarities of also of these two countries is that the per capita of this country are calculated in dollar. Then let's proceed to the political geography. So the differences also of the differences of the political geography of the country of Spain of Morocco is that the location of Spain is located in the Iberian Peninsula. The shape is plains that are surrounded by rugged and developed hills. Then the size is 505,370 square kilometers. Their territorial morphology is compact state. Then their types of government is constitutional monarchy. The capital is Madrid. Then the national anthem is the Marcaril. Their supranational is organization, the European Union, NATO, OECD, WT, the World Trade Organization, and many other international organizations. While the Morocco is that their location is in the North African country bordering the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. The shape is the mountainous country of Western. Their size is 446,550 kilometers square. Their territorial square kilometer. Their territorial morphology is elongated. Then their types of government is parliamentary constitutional monarchy. Their capital is Rabat. Their national anthem is Sherifian anthem. Their supranational organization is a member of the United Nations and belongs to the African Union, and Arab League. So the similarities of these two countries is that their supranational organization, that the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. So also the differences of the political geography of the Canada and the Argentina is that the location of Canada is the northern part of North America. So the shape is mountainous west coast, flat central prairies, and eastern forested plains and frozen north. So the size is 9.985 million square kilometer. So their territorial morphology is fragmented state. Their types of government is constitutional monarchy. Their capital is Ottawa. Their national anthem is the O Canada. Then their supranational organization is the Canada and the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, Canada, and the World Trade Organization. So while the Argentina is that their location is the southern half of South America, the shape is inverted triangle with its base at the top with the size of 2,780,400 square kilometers. The territorial morphology is elongated. Then their types of government is democratic system. Their capital is Buenos Aires. Their national anthem is the Himno Nacional Argentino. Their supranational organization is a founding member of the United Nations, Mercosur, the Union of South American Nations, the Organization of Ibero-American States, the World Bank Group, and the World Trade Organization, and is one of the G15 and G20 major economies. So the similarities of these two countries is that supranational organization, the United Nations, and the World Trade Organizations. Then also the differences of the political geography of these two countries, the New Zealand and China, is that the New Zealand have the location in southwestern Pacific Ocean, shaped along an narrow country. The size is 268,021 square kilometers. Their territorial morphology is compact and straightforward. Their types of government is constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system of government. Their capital is Wellington. Then their national anthem is two, that both were inspired by the patriotism, yet written in very different circumstances. The God Defend New Zealand and the God Save the Queen. Their supranational organization is the New Zealand participates in the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the International Energy Agency, the Asian Development Bank, the Pacific Islands Formation, and the Southwestern Pacific Ocean. While the China, their location is in East Asia, shaped like a rooster, size is 9.597 million square kilometers. Their territorial morphology is compact state. Their types of government is a one-party communist dictatorship in which the Communist Party of China has a monopoly on power. Their capital is Beijing. Their national anthem is the March of the Volunteers. Their supranational organization is the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation and WTO, World Trade Organization. So the similarities of these two countries is that they are also their supranational organization, the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. So let's proceed to the cultural life. So the differences of the cultural life of this country of Spain and Morocco is that their religion is Catholic, their language is Spanish or the Castilian, their national food is paella dish, famous festival is La Tomatina Fight or Tomato Fight Festival. Their traditional clothes is the mantilla, the pinita, and the gilit. Then their sport is football and bullfighting. Their holidays is Spain's National Day. Then Morocco is their religion is Islam. Their language is Arabic and Berber. Their national food is Tajayan. Their famous festival is the Fez World Festival of Sacred Music. Their traditional clothes is the jilab. Then their sports is soccer. Their holidays is Eid al-Fitr. So the similarities of these two countries is that their sports, that soccer or football. Then their religion, the language that they are spoken is English as their second language. Then also the differences of these two countries of cultural life of the country of Canada and Argentina is that the Canada's religion is Christianity, language English and French. Then the national food is poutine. Famous festival is the Canada Day and Victoria Day. The traditional clothes is parkas, tukis, ojibwa, shirts, mittens, earmuffs, and so on. And their sport is ice hockey. Their holidays is Christmas Day. Then the Argentina is their religion is Catholic. Their language is Spanish. National food is asado. Famous festival is folklore. Their traditional clothes is ponchos, pagartas, bumbacas, and hat. Their famous sports are football. Then the holidays is 25 de Mayo or the National Day. So the similarities of these two countries is that their language and their holidays, because holidays they celebrated Christmas Day, the Canada and Argentina celebrated Christmas Day, and also the language English because it is their first language also that's spoken there. Then also the differences of the cultural life of these two countries of the New Zealand and China is that the religion of New Zealand is Christianity, their language English, Maori, and Sign. Their national food is the tasty pie. Their famous festival is Pacifica Festival. Then their traditional clothes nga tao nga kakoiho. Then sports is the rugby union, football, and their holidays is Waitangi Day. Then religion is their religion in China is wild in China is that their religion is Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Protestantism, and Catholicism. Then their language is Mandarin. National food is the Peking duck. Their famous festival is the Chinese New Year. Then their traditional clothes is the Hanfu, Zhongshan suit, Mao suit, Tang suit, and Chungsam or Shipao. Then their sports are soccer and basketball. Their holidays is the National Day. So the similarities of these two countries is that their sports that they have is soccer or football. Then the language is English. So that's all. Thank you for your time to watch my presentation. I am Trixcylle. Thank you for watching.